Hi, I'm Emma. You can download most of the SSP resources for free if you go to slideshare.net/Reading Whisperer. Open a free account so that you can save and print the PDFs or use the PowerPoints on a whiteboard or on a laptop. So we've got the 4 basic levels. This is for the explicit teaching of the alphabetic code. We start off with green, and these are the sound pics, the pictures of the speech sounds that we're learning. However, you can also see all of the variations. So there's not just one representation for the speech sound. There are a lot of them. So the children are exposed to the whole lot. All the resources, everything you see here can be downloaded off the internet, off the SlideShare account, to help you progress all through the levels. The idea is that by the time they get to here, they're actually reading independently for fluency and comprehension. There's no point just learning how to decode if you can't put it into meaningful context and can't understand what you're reading. So we go through the green level, and there are the skills as well that are associated with this: purple, yellow, blue. Now in the green level, we're focusing a lot on phonemic awareness. If the children can't see something like this, now the children think of this as snap. So they get used to the illustrations that we use within SSP so that they know the word that we want to use. So this is pants. And there's a funny visual for a whiteboard that you can watch where he's standing there with his pants and his pants fall down. So a lot of the SSP approach is just fun and what have you. The children are really engaged. But they know that when they see that, it's the word nip. They look at that, we're thinking of the word pat, snap, sip, snip, tan, turtle's getting a tan, nap, pit, is in a sandpit, pin, sit, or sat, pan, tap, ant, spin, spin. And as you'll probably realise, these words are all made up of s, at, p, it, n. So they're all made up of s, at, p, it, n. So we start off with the ability to look at this and say sip, and then hear that the word is s, ip. 3 speech sounds, and then it's logical when we say to the children, well look, here is a picture of the speech sound s. It's one of the pictures of the speech sound s. And we take a picture with our speech sound camera. So listen for the sound s, take a picture. What might it look like? That's the visualization. What might it look like? Oh, it might look like this. The same as if we're listening for I in sip. 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 So we've listened for s and we took a picture. I, take a picture. What might it look like? Might look like that. Sip. What's the last one? Take a picture. P. Take a picture. What might it look like? It might look like that. So that when we're writing the word sip, we're spelling the word sip, we heard sip. And there are the pictures for sip, sip. Now to do that, children need to not only be able to hear those speech sounds, but to know the order in which they go, and to know which one to choose, and also to be able to blend them. So when we're reading this word, they need to be able to know that they go sip, sip. And they actually do this so quickly, once they become familiar with this, that they don't need to go sip, they just go sip, because their brain straight away is taking in all of that information and getting the word sip. They don't look at the picture first, otherwise it stops the brain from actually decoding that, because it said, okay, sip, and it doesn't really look at this. So we look at print first, and these illustrations are used to enhance the learning, but they're not used for guesswork. So in the green level, when we're focusing on skills, we're starting off with those visual prompts, those illustrations, sat pin, and here are some of the words that we've built that we're making up. So this is just a card when children are playing bingo and things like that. There are a lot of games. So if we're doing speedy decoding, they might go sat, 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 Santa, itten, in. Or they might say, I don't need to decode, I don't need to give the individual sound pics, I can just go sat, Santa, in, nip, sit, tan. And they do it really quickly and they time each other. So the green level are lots and lots of skills and concepts, so don't need to rush it. But when we do go up to the purple level, and here you don't have to give them all of the purple level sound pics at the same time, you can give them just a few. But what we do is that then we're building up so that here you can also download not only the sound pics, but also the words that correspond. So as we're building up, these words aren't just random words. These are all made up of sound pics that the children have been learning. So it gives them a chance to not only learn these, but put them into words, into decoding situations. And then, of course, we can use these words in their readers. So please ask your local library, if you're at a school, ask your school to get a full set of Dandelion readers. Ask me for the form so I can show you the form that's got the star next to the ones you need. Dandelion readers, because these, even though they're not created by SSP, and I actually am creating our own that you'll be able to have, that instead of just having the characters from this, you'll have all the characters that we use in SSP and the Speech Sound Frog and whatever. But for now, use the Dandelion readers because they are books that the children feel like, you know, they're actually reading the books. But these complement the order. So, you know, if we think about, for example, the children are starting to learn J, W, X, then in the yellow level, then we might have this book. So they know that all of the words on here are sound pics they've already met. And it actually says on the top here that we're now learning J, W, Z. Sorry, not Z. And it shows at the back, this is where we're up to, which means that all the books prior to that have covered these sound pics, these phonemes. So we're up to here, and it's not mere shock to the children, so it builds confidence. So they're helping to use the skills in using actual reading situations. So we've got Meg and the Bun. So all of these the children can read. The helpful words there, the helpful word there is the. Meg, and the bun. Meg and the bun. Now here it assumes that they know capitals, because capitals obviously are a different shape usually than the lowercase. So a lot of the SSP resources don't have uppercase at the beginning other than names. But we've got Meg and the bun. So here, when you're looking at a reader, it doesn't matter how many words. What matters is whether they can decode those words. They shouldn't need to look at the picture at all to understand what the word is, what they're reading. So all of these words are made up of sound pics they know. Zig, zig, zog, zog. And it means that they don't have to do that. They can go zig, zog, because as they get to there, their brain is looking left to right, decoding before they say it. Zig, zog, and Meg had a nap on the bed, etc. So we can get to comprehension because their brain isn't having to slow down all the time for all words that they can't decode, and they can actually start to do it for comprehension. So I might even cover that. And when the child's read Zig, Zog and Meg had a nap on the bed, Zig and Zog got up, I might say, so close your eyes, what can you see? What picture would you have in your mind about Zig, Zog and Meg having a nap on the bed? And then we might look at that. Oh look, here it is, and talk about that, and that must be Meg's cushion and whatever. So then we go to here, and again the child can read it. So all the way through, when they've got their home reader, it links in with what they've been learning, all the way up to here. So these books complement all the way through, even when we get to the blue level, and we're doing blue level sandpicks sandwiches, so that we're doing like blue level sandpicks sandwiches like I, A, O, E. So in Jake the snake, Jake the snake, that's because that is a blue level sandpick there. So we say snake, and then because of the little lines there that jumps over the top, snake, so that's a blue level sandpick sandwich. But that's showing lots of ways to do the A sound. So this book is reinforcing that A speech sound, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 representations of the A sound. There are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. So they can look at that afterwards. But this helps to introduce 5 of them in a reading situation. Words her, said, for, was, and they. And they've probably met before, so that's not a helpful word anymore, because they know and or for or. So then they read this book and they can actually read it. They're not having to ask somebody what that word is or what that word is, or look at this and guess from the picture. They're actually reading it. Jake the snake. Jake the snake. And here's some practice just there with different A's. Okay, so it all works systematically and explicitly, and it's the quickest, easiest way of getting every child reading and spelling, because we're actually focusing on the bits that children struggle with, which is the phonemic awareness and making sense of the print, which is called the phonics. We have to have that underlying phonemic awareness and phonics ability in order to develop fluency, comprehension, and vocab knowledge. So do download everything. For example, here are the visual prompts for the green level, so they know when they look at that it's pants. P-a-n-t-s. P-a-n-t-s. And there's another pants. And it might be ant, an upside down ant. Ant. And I've actually written the word there, which the children eventually start saying, oh, it's down here, ant. But the children, as you can see on one of these, but the children, as you can see, this is half rubbed out, will work it out. So spin, so they've got the visual prompt, so then they think spin, sp, it, n. We would need sp, it, n. We would need 4 pictures for the speech sounds, because there's 4 speech sounds. Sp, it, n. So take a picture of the speech sound camera, sp, it, n. So they drew 4 lines, sp, it, n. And that's really important, get them to do the lines at the same time as they're saying the sounds. Sp, it, n. I put the numbers underneath, and then they were finding what could be spin, so they've got the word. So these are really important, and there's visual prompts for every level, all the resources you could possibly need, and it's just increasing it and just doing more and more resources to help you teach your child to read and spell at home without having to spend anything. But if you can get your library to please get these resources, then, because it's just too expensive for you to buy it yourself, otherwise by the time they read one book and they might want to go back on some of them, but it's just not cost effective. So please ask your library, and ideally ask your school. So if you use SSP recommended readers like Dandelion and what have you, or Spell South Australia, then the books will scaffold. So the books will start off with sat pin words, tan, tin, pin, pan, and then it'll move up and move through. So anyway, here are the speech sound pick words, and in their folders they need their sound picks according to their level, and they need their sound pick words according to their level. So if we're going through here, these are purple level sound pick words, because we've got at. So when they come across that, they'd already learned at and t. So is a new one in the purple level. So now they can read at rat, and they don't need a picture, they don't need a clue, because they're actually decoding at rat, at hat, big, big, it, fit, fluff. And the reason that we have this is because that's a skill, that's a new skill that we're learning in the purple level, in that sometimes 2 sound picks can be together and still only make the same sound, still only represent the same sound. They don't obviously make a sound, they represent a sound. So here on its own it represents, it's one of the pictures for, but this is another one. So on the purple level it's not so much recognizing that as, it's understanding the skill, understanding the concept that here, ill, we don't say it or, we say hill. Oh, okay, so 2 of those, same sound pick, same phonemes, together represent the same speech sound. The same in giggle. And what we've got here is that even though we might have learned all, as this can represent the speech sound all, we're showing them that there are lots of them. So we're going to learn them all, but we're just going to learn these ones to start off with. But when we're actually writing, we can look at the clouds and see actually there are more than one representation. So we've got giggle. So this is split up of all. And what's really important is that the children can see how the speech links to the sound picks. So please do print these off SlideShare and laminate them. So we want the children to go at rat, or they can just say, oh, I don't need to decode, I can just go rat, hat, big, what have you. Once they're starting to do that, you might cut them up and shuffle them up so that the children, they like them first of all for the confidence to know where they are, and a lot of the children will just remember, and even if you were to cover it up, they would tell you what the word is because they know where it is. So when they get to that stage, then cut them up and shuffle them around and then see if they're still doing it. So if we're looking at this word, we might say to them giggle, although they can also decode because they know that's a picture of g, all. Because look, we've met them. We've met g, g. Oops, sorry, lost it. G, all. And there's it all in there. Giggle. So we've met them all. All of these they've met already, so it's not a surprise. But if they were not sure, you might say, well, it's the word giggle. G, all. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 speech sounds. G, all. And there they are. They're the pictures of the speech sounds. If we take our picture of our speech sounds, g, there it is. G, all. Taking a picture with our speech sound camera. Hill. All. 1, 2, 3. All. And we need children to do this. And as you see, we're scaffolding it. So we're making it nice and simple, explicit teaching, but also making it fun. So you can get all of these and it goes through so that, let's say we've got from the purple level, practicing the words, and we're also learning, here's another concept, that sometimes that represents g, like I got home last night and I was late or whatever, and we've also got j. Now we could also actually change that into gentle, because we've actually done the all, j. So we're showing the concept that sometimes these sandpits can represent more than one speech sound. It could be g or it could be j. The same as this could be k or it could be s. So within the levels, it's not just learning the sound picks, it's learning the skills and concepts and building it up so it's not a shock. With a lot of phonics teaching, we don't do that. We only give them a limited information and then they get stuck. So then if they get to something like that, they think it's Kent. And they don't then be able to think, well, Kent, what's the word? Well, it might think of Kent in England, but it's actually scent. Oh, okay, that's a picture of s. So we get all the way through. Let's get up to the yellow level. So again, we're starting to think, oh, okay, so we did the j, like gentle, but this is another picture for j. So they're building up, and it makes it logical for the children because we're actually starting from speech, which is what they know. So we start from what we say, like jam, gentle, whatever, and then show them the representations rather than start with print and then try and make sense of that, which is a lot more difficult. And that's why a lot of phonics teaching isn't overly effective, because it's actually being taught from the print first. So again, we're using these sound picks, and when they come to these, there are no sound picks that they haven't already met. So we're learning this here. There's the ch. So again, here's another skill, another concept that we're learning in the yellow level. The concept that when we've got a this, it might be a k, or it might be a s, etc. When we've got this, it could be a picture of h. But when we put them together, it's a completely different speech sound. So here, k or s, here, h. When we put them together, it's now ch. It represents a ch. It's one of the pictures for the ch sound. So again, that's another concept. And we look at it and then we think, what are the other pictures of the ch speech sound, pics of the ch speech sound? The dog is chasing the cat. Or it could be Mitchell, the dog is chasing the cat. So that we've got a TCH. And then we've got here, look, the concept for or I. That's a picture of I. And we go through. And the children, like rain, where are the, well, how do we say rain? Ain. Well, there's the n, so where's the A? Must be this one. A, n. G, in. The reason we don't put gr together, even though we say green, is because the rule is, one of the only rules in SSP, is that if two sound picks sitting together don't make a completely different sound, they're just blended, then when you count them for spelling, count them as g, r, een, and it helps the brain stay a lot clearer. Even though when you read it, you might think, oh, okay, it's gr, but we blend them together, green. So hi, how many how many speech sounds can you hear? I. So that must be I. Nice and simple for the children. Okay, so that's another picture of the I sound. And if we've already looked at the I sound, like for example, he's getting dry. Right, I'm looking at getting dry, I. So here we've said that this could be E, like happy, Y, like yes, I, like dry. So when we're looking at I, oh, we've just discovered another I. So we look in the speech sound cloud. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, I. So a lot of the speech sound picks about discovering. So we're doing the level systematically and explicitly, so we know we're teaching at least 70 of the most commonly used phonemes or graphemes and what have you. But we're also helping the children discover. So if you think of that, these clouds here, this is the whole of the English alphabetic code, because we're teaching 70 of them explicitly and directly, but in the clouds we're showing all of them. So we've got about 150 representations of the speech sounds here, and that's our whole English language. There are only about 45 speech sounds in the English language, the speech sounds that we use in words, and the ways to represent them, there's only about 150 or so. So it's far easier to teach it like that, along with the skills of going from decoding to comprehension and what have you, than it is teaching whole words and asking children to memorise them. However, we do learn high frequency words, which we call helpful words, right from the beginning. For example, so then you can do, the ant was in the pit. I'll bring it in on Thursday because I'm coming in on Thursday. Right, Lily!
And Oscar!
Oscar, that must be an O in there.
Uska! That means
Uska!
There's one page that I think. Oh.
Let's have a look. Go for it, Mrs. Lily.
Fish.
And it is a fish! Wow.
Catfish.
Okay, thank you.
Emma, this book is easy to read.
It's easy to read, only if you're very clever. That was mean. You're very clever.
Dogfish. And I have a sore arm.
Oh, what did you do?
Because I was jumping on the trampoline last night and then I jumped on the ground and then I fell on my stomach and hurt my arm.
Oh, you've got to be careful. Look what Lily's doing. Well done. Hold on, what's this one?
Flatfish.
Well done. So remember, at flatfish. Let's have a look. Is it a flatfish? It is a flatfish. Wow, Lil. Bet your mum is so proud of you, isn't she? Is she really, really proud of you?
Yeah.
Is your mummy going to come in and help next term? Because I'm going to come into your class again as well.
I don't know.
I hope she is. I've not seen her for ages. What's this one then? And I love that you knew that was the R sound, starfish. And it is a starfish. Oh, wow.
It's shellfish.
Oh, it is a shellfish. So if you were teaching some prep children from next year that didn't know, which would you say was the all sound? Where's the all sound pick? Well done. Is it just one of them or both of them?
Both.
Both, it is.
Fish. Pufferfish.
Well done, pufferfish. Ah, wow, so that must be another sound just there. Amazing. So have a look, Holland. Dragon.
Fish.
Dragonfish. Is there such a thing as a dragonfish? Oh, I bet that's really scary. Oh my goodness, it's got big teeth. Wow. Hold the book up. Oh, say, my name's Lily and I'm a reader and I'm amazing.
My name's Lily and I'm a reader and I'm amazing.
Oh, give me a high five. And give me a hug. I think you're amazing. Thank you, honey. Go out to play. See you later. And I hope that's helped. Please do download all the resources. They're all free. Hope to see you on Facebook soon. Facebook.com/Read Australia.